It is the SMT Media Network back with another video on the association. Knicks versus Warriors happened last night. Steph in the Garden. Jimmy active for the Knicks. I think they were missing Karl-Anthony Towns. The Warriors win 114-102. The Knicks move to 40-21. The Warriors move to 34-28. And the game, I think, played out the way we would expect it to, being that the Knicks were missing a really big part of their offense. Karl-Anthony Towns can't really be replaced, right, from an offensive standpoint. Defensively, obviously, not his strength at all. Kind of a weakness if you think about it. But the Warriors basically executed the way that we thought they would, right? Just a more dynamic team when you have players like Draymond Green defensively, Jimmy Butler defensively, Steph always a threat from outside, Jimmy kind of playing to the strengths of his teammates. I think for the Knicks, if there's anything you learned from this game, is that now you've got, Mitchell Robinson back, and he played decent. It's his first game back since, I think, early December or something of that nature. Anyways, the game kind of played out in the following fashion, right? The Knicks came out and were able to compete defensively. They hung in there. And actually, they're winning at halftime. Golden State got out and ahead in the second half, and they kind of put the chokehold onto the Knicks in the third and fourth quarter. The Knicks just ran out of steam relative to the offensive output, right? And they just couldn't score enough points to keep up with the Warriors. So the Warriors shot 49% from the field, 35% from three. The Knicks shot 44% from the field, 24% from three. Not enough to beat the Warriors. Additionally, the rebounding battle edge went to the Warriors, and they took better care of the ball. And not to say that the Knicks turned the ball over a lot. It was like 11-13. But, in a game where your scoring is at a premium and you can't get a lot of points, your ball possession is going to be really important. So offensive rebounds are going to be key. Second chance opportunities are going to be key. And you just couldn't get enough of those, right? And you look at a guy like Steph and these guys, they're a tough team to beat. Now you got Jimmy Butler over there, right? Speaking of some of those point totals and stat lines, Draymond Green, 8 points in 35 minutes. He gave you 9 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals, right? So he was a very productive player last night. Jimmy Butler, 19 points after missing a game, 6 of 12 shooting, 7 of 9 from the free throw, threw in 4 rebounds and 4 assists. All right, so a nice, well-rounded game from him. Additionally, Steph Curry, 28 points on 10 of 21 shooting, 5 of 9 from 3, 7 rebounds, 9 assists, 2 steals, and only 2 turnovers, right? You guys know how I am about turnovers. I respect the players that take care of the ball and secure it. Moses Moody, 9 points. Brandon Pubzinski got you 19 points in 32 minutes. All right, so there's some help from some other players. Didn't get much from your bench. You did get a little bit, from a couple of guys, but mostly Buddy Hield, 15 points, 6 of 13 shooting. He took 10 threes and made 3 of them, threw in 6 rebounds. All right, so that's kind of your box score there for the Warriors. And then from the Knicks side of it, 15 from Mikal Bridges, 29 points from OG. That's a really good night for him. Very productive. Added opportunities because of the absence of Cat. 7 points for Mitchell Robinson, 15 minutes of action. Looks like he's kind of sort of on a minutes restriction there. Jalen Brunson, 25 points, 9 of 18 shooting, only 1 of 7 from 3. That's kind of a problem, right? Taking a lot of threes, you're not making them. 7 assists, 2 rebounds. He had 4 turnovers. Obviously, he's the creator for that team. Not really good enough to win in this game. Josh Hart, 2 points on 1 of 8 shooting, 0 for 4 from 3. Did get you 8 rebounds, got you 3 assists. But that's just not going to get it. And then with respect to the bench, we know that that's not a strength of the Knicks. And being down a key player, it makes the bench even kind of have to do more. But they just did not produce. In terms of the Knicks, Precious Achiuwa got you 8 points, Campaign 5, Miles McBride 6 points, and then Landry Shamet 5 points. This is just not enough to get it done. Okay, so with respect to this game, kind of the way I expected it to play out. No surprises there. Let's take a look at some of these kind of situations for these teams. So the Warriors now 34-28. The Knicks 40-21. They're kind of in a different position now. Or these teams are in 2 different, I don't know, what do you guys want to say? Their position within their respective conferences. All right, so the Warriors on the upswing. They're currently positioned 6th in the West with an opportunity to close out the year strong they can get past a team like the Rockets, the Grizzlies, and I think those are realistic. Like, those are possible. So I think the Warriors could, if they stay hot, potentially get to the 3rd spot. I don't know if they're going to be able to fend off the Nuggets or the Lakers. That's going to be a little bit tougher, but I definitely think they could move up a couple of spots. Behind the Warriors, I don't think you have many threats. So that's why I'm thinking if the Warriors can get to the 4th seed, they get themselves an opening series home court advantage, then it essentially, I think, almost guarantees them a shot at a second round matchup with whomever it may be. I'm not sure the standings, people can move and stuff like that. Teams can move. With respect to the Knicks, I think they're clearly a second-tier team. I think it's the Cavs and the Celtics that are on a crash course, collision course for the Eastern Conference Finals. The Knicks don't have the depth. The Knicks don't have the consistency. That defensively, they have a couple of players, but just as a team, they don't have it. I think there's a version of this. If Cat misses time or if Brunson misses time, they lack so much depth. Even if a guy like OG misses time, the Knicks can slide back out of that 3rd spot. It's possible. The Bucks, the Pacers, they're all kind of winning games. I mean, look at the Pistons, 9-1 in their last 10. Am I saying that they're going to pass the Knicks? No, but if the Knicks go on a slide, they're 6-4 in their last 10, very average, very pedestrian. Their record isn't bad, but I mean, it's just very, very clear to me that they're going to have trouble in the playoffs because of their lack of depth, because we saw that last year too. And they're not beating the Cavs. In my opinion, maybe they get one game against the Cavs. Maybe they get one game against the Knicks, and that would be like a game at the Garden. I don't even see them beating the Bucks in a series. I really don't. The Bucks are just a different team compared to what they were when they started the year. I think these teams are moving in different directions, right? So, I don't know. I think the NBA is great when the Knicks are good. It's the same thing, Lakers and Celtics. The NBA is great when those teams are good. But I'm just not going to let myself, be fooled by a team that has a good record but lacks so many things that are going to be required in the playoffs. The Knicks don't really have it. They made the trade for Cat. In some ways, it makes them better, and in some ways, it makes them worse. And it gets exploited in certain matchups. Look at the Knicks against the better teams in the league. They don't even compete. They really don't. And then for the Warriors, it's the opposite. I think they're built to compete with some of the better teams in their conference, because now they've got Jimmy. Throw that in with Steph and Dre. They have what I think is a team that has experience. Obviously, you've got championship pedigree, and while they may not have a better record than the Knicks, I would trust the Warriors to win at least one, possibly 2 playoff series. I don't think the Knicks can win past a second round series. I just don't. I don't view them as a legitimate threat in the East. I can't. My eyes don't deceive me. I know what I'm looking at. All right, and I'm sure you guys, have an opinion on this. Let me know what you think the Warriors' ceiling is. Let me know what you think the Knicks' ceiling is. Who you expect to finish the year better in terms of, how they play overall, and then what do you think about a potential playoff run? Let me know. Drop me some comments. Like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you guys on the next video.